got it.
Fantastic.
Okay, so what do I do?
What's that?
How do I do a watch party?
It says watch together with friends or with a group.
It doesn't show that on here.
Really?
Nope, yep.
That's weird. Try go to share, try that.
I'll start a watch party. There it is, there it is. Start watch party.
Volume down. All right, are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
All right. I'm Scott.
And I'm Don.
And we're talking real estate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. Don and I have been looking forward to this for the entire week.
Since last Tuesday.
Since last Tuesday was
Wednesday.
last Wednesday. But we have some regulations we have to take care of. Don, if you would.
We are 6 feet away from each other.
Absolutely. We got the table in front of us.
See?
We want to make sure that people are comfortable with us being this close to each other. So, and we're not being ridiculous. We're just trying to put people at ease. So we are 6 feet apart. We measured out. The tape is there. Got all kinds of people jumping on. Got Tom Wilkowicz, Tina Kish,
We're being
Don
safe.
Klein, all kinds of people watching today. So, Donna, I'm going to tell you something. I didn't realize that once the weather got nice, I mean, last week was April Fool's. I get it. What's going on?
It was so sunny today. I went for a run in the sun, and I've just been very in a comfortable, relaxed mood. And I thought I'd go a little relaxing like you. I even have flip-flops on today.
Listen, I relax all the time, buddy.
I know.
I
I get to do it once in a while, don't I?
But this kind of messes up the continuity, doesn't it, folks?
Next
Do me a
week.
favor while
Next
we're
week, shirt and tie.
yeah, so better be shirt and tie next week.
All right,
So
next week,
guys,
shirt
do
and
us this favor as you bounce in and start watching. Just let us know what city you're watching from. So throw that in the comments if you would, please. That'd be great. Okay. All right. So Don, what do we got first for the people today?
So we're talking about the evolving real estate world that we're in now. We're all in this unusual circumstances, and what's
Yeah.
going on what's evolving in the world of real estate that you're aware of, Scott?
Right. Well, we got lots of things to talk about. The first one I will tell you is, and again, I had a closing last week that this did not happen. So, or two closings last week that people went in and did all that normal stuff. Okay, but I got something today from a title company that said they're doing. Think of it like this, folks. I want you to think of it like this, like the old A&W root beer, the old A&W root beer hamburger joint.
You have to be of a certain age for that.
Right, yeah. I date myself, but it's okay. So people, when they used to come out with the trays and put the tray on your car window, same thing with this now. Title companies are asking to protect their people and to protect everybody. They're asking that you stay in your car. They come out to you with all the docs, you sign them, and they walk back inside. So I call it A&W closings.
Are they printing the docs out and coming back out, or emailing them?
Well, I think they're printing them. That would be my guess. I kind of saw this one when I was closing one, but again, they let my guy in one of the closings last week. So, yeah. So we got A&W closings so far. Carolyn Babbitt's my cousin in the house.
I like that term, A&W closing. You get a root beer or anything with it?
No, you don't get a root beer with it, nothing like that. So,
that's
guys, like I said, as you
that's
come in
disappointing.
and start watching, let us know what city you're popping in from. Sean Nickel from way out of town.
So next up, with that in the evolving real estate world, we have what's called our MLS, Multiple Listing Service, is going to have allow scheduled virtual open houses. And to explain that further, the seller will schedule a certain day and time, and will use different types of could use whatever platform they're comfortable with, Zoom or Skype or Facebook Live or FaceTime maybe even I don't know. And they would do a tour of their house, and the ideal situation would be to have the listing agent on this virtual tour, the selling agent and a buyer and a seller, and the buyer and the seller can have a conversation, they can talk, and I guess the agents would kind of moderate.
So here's what I like about it again, and I told you guys last week, Josh Shalhoub in the house. I told you guys last week virtual stuff for buying a home makes me a little nervous, right? I'm still kind of tight about that. But here's the thing that's interesting to me. So if a seller is doing a virtual tour of the home and you can ask them questions, I mean, that's pretty neat. Like,
yeah.
Hey, what about this? Hey, what do you know about this? What about that? And it's there's something. Sometimes you want to ask the seller some questions.
Absolutely, and sometimes the seller will explain things about the house or as they walk through it as well, so that you'll understand it a little bit better. So it's a very interesting time that we're in, and we're really, I think, our profession's really stepping up to make it work, so buyers can buy homes and sellers can sell their home.
So that's starting tomorrow, yeah.
Starting tomorrow, starting.
So you
Thursday.
can do virtual open houses starting tomorrow. Again, I'm still kind of tight. I've got a client that is looking to buy a house without seeing it. I'm still hard for me.
That's still the case. The buyer cannot go through the house, cannot preview the house or look at the house in person until they close.
Yeah. So
So
here's the
it's-
advice I got from our broker too about that kind of stuff, because I brought it to one of our brokers, and it's you make a contingent on them doing a walk through the house 48 hours, up to 48 hours after the shelter in place is lifted.
So they're not closing until sometime after that. So,
Yeah.
which is fine. At least it works out. That's a great idea.
So then I want to keep going with evolving things in the market, but that's the thing about real estate now is that time frames are getting kind of wobbly, you know.
Yeah, you have to be, if you're in a real hurry, you might be buying a house that you can't see until after you close on it. If it's that important. So you really want to make sure that they have virtual tour and you're comfortable with it. And if you really think about it, people that are moving across country or even from another state here, sometimes they can't come here to look at houses all the time.
Yeah.
And they buy houses virtual tours or through pictures. So it happens, it works. Right?
So Don, I want you to say it again to the camera, because my sister Julie Long is watching right now. Show her 6 feet.
Julie, 6 feet.
We're 6 feet apart. Just like I said, we're trying to be good boys. So I want to
We're
talk
doing the
about.
right thing.
We're still talking about evolving markets, okay? About the real estate market. I want to talk about a topic that's might impact a lot of folks that are watching today. So the phrase, the catchword is forbearance, right? Forbearance. And I talked to a couple lenders about this, and it's not forgiveness of your loan, but it's forbearing your payments, right? Mm-hmm. I've heard, and again, we're not mortgage lenders. We're just kind of feeling the context we have out trying to understand this. The CARES Act that went through Congress last week, right? Is allowing people to forbear their mortgages. Now, here's the things you got to think about. One, you got to think about the fact, and I talked to a lender just a little bit ago, and here's what he said to me, that let's say you can do it between 3 and 6 months. It means you can not make payments and not affect your credit and all those kind of things for 3 to 6 months. At the end of that time frame, you got to make all those payments. So let's say you did it for 6 months, right? And your mortgage is $1,000. You better have $6,000 6 months from now, right?
Yep.
And
Yes.
interest and everything occurs, right? But it's kind of trying to take the pressure off right today and not getting your credit beat up. I guess that's the way I would look at it, Don, is your credit not getting beat up?
That's a good thing.
I mean, yeah, so you do it now.
But you still have to come up with the money at some point. So
Yeah.
if you're in a short-term crunch, it works. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have to be stressed about it, but you do have to catch up on it, and it's not going to be forgiven or anything like that. You have to make up those payments.
Yeah, and so I went talk to 2 different lenders, and here's what they explained to me. And again, we're not mortgage lenders, okay? So we're just trying to give you the information that we know, right? So you call your servicer, whoever services your mortgage, right? And you say, hey, I've been financially affected by COVID-19. And then they'll tell you the next steps to take. I don't know if every company is going to do it differently. I don't know if there's going to be locked solid requirements. I don't know that answer. Do you?
No, I think each lender may have something a little bit different. There's going to be some uniqueness to it, possibly. So reach out to your lender if it's really something that's really if you're in a crunch. Reach out to your lender and talk to him and see what it requires. So but you are going to have to pay it back. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. So I want to go back to the virtual open houses. So Sabrina, my good friend in Italy, she's in Italy right now. That's where she's at. Rough place to be right now. She even said that she's sold her house on a virtual tour. So I think I've heard 3 or 4 people now that have said that have done that thing. So.
And we've had it in our office. We've closed a couple already. They couldn't walk through the house until after.
So I'm
so
loosening up to it a little bit, but it's still going to take me some time.
Yeah.
So that's starting Thursday. So we got so far in the evolving world, we got the A&W closings, we got forbearance, we got the virtual open houses, What about FHA now? Tell me about that.
So since last time we talked last week, we were concerned about FHA increasing their credit limits, credit standards from 580 to 660. Well, apparently they have moved it up some to 620.
I think that's
620
yeah.
to 660, but they're still closing loans, so they're not. It's not like they've closed down, but they're still closing loans.
So a couple things. Here's a couple things I heard. So we're jumping that 620, 660 deal, right? That lock, that area. I mean, from what I've heard. And then two, if you have an FHA, because I just saw a house come back in the market today that this happened. When they at the end of the loan, the mortgage process, they do what's called verification of employment. They can't verify your employment. That's going to cause you some issues. So that's something else to think about too. So FHA is still wobbling a little bit, but it's not as bad as I heard.
We thought it
was like, oh, hell's going to break loose.
At least not right now.
No.
So actually, you know, if you really think about where we're at so far in this real estate, in a month, what are we, 3 weeks into this, where we had to be stay at home order, things are kind of working out. Taking a little bit longer. There's challenges we have to face and we have to get around and get over. But it's working.
Let me tell you because I'm walking through it with a couple of clients still. I've still got some stuff that's got to close. So one went clear to close yesterday. So the challenge is going to be now my seller was only able to view houses for like 7 days or something. And we were looking every single day, right, before the lockdown, right? So now she's kind of going, what do I do? So I talked to the agent yesterday. And I go, look, man. And I put it in very plain language for him. I go, look, have you ever been through a pandemic before? No. Okay. So we got to do this a little different. I mean, I came straight at him like that. You know what I mean? So it's got to be, and I explained, I go, look, they got to have occupancy or be able to stay in the home after they closed it, okay, for 45 days after Governor Whitmer lets this thing loose. Right? Does that sound right?
It does.
45,
60 days, you don't know.
You got to be flexible.
Or be more, so how they go.
He was, I mean, the guy understood, but I was really like, I was guns forward.
Sure.
Because you have to be like, you can't get pressured by folks going, we got to do this, that. No.
Right.
My job is to take care of whoever the client is. Right.
Right.
You know
And it has to be a win-win for both buyer and seller.
Right.
So you're going to have some possibly uncomfortable conversations.
Well, yeah, so here's the other side of this thing.
You have to think outside the box. It's the biggest thing is thinking outside the box, trying to figure a way around what you need to do to accomplish what you set out to do.
Yeah. And she's, like I said, she and another a lady that I have, they're looking online and going to do offers without even going yet. And again, I still am pretty tight about that. You know what I mean? So
if you have to move, you have to move.
Yeah. So that's the evolving real estate market.
That virtual open house is going to be perfect for them.
I hope so. I mean,
well, it's a good way to.
It's a start. Yeah, it's a start. So
we're figuring things out as we go along.
So we've got Councilwoman Lisa Hicks Clayton in the house today. Young lady, it's good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So now let's talk about. Here's what I want to do. I want to talk about taking my own advice. All right, let's go there.
You took your own advice?
Can you believe that? So yes, folks, when we give you advice, we try to take our own advice. So a couple things. One, if anybody saw my Facebook page early this week and late last week, I purged a lot of furniture. Like I purged a sofa, a couch, a coffee table, I mean like a bunch of my whole living room basically. Right?
Are you sitting on boxes on the
Well,
floor?
Hey, I'm working on it, buddy. I'm working on it. Okay?
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So here's what my advice to you: if you're purging stuff in this time, all right. I know people love Facebook Marketplace and all these other things. Here's how I do it: I just do Facebook free. I put free. Message me if you want this. And people and like kids that I had in school when I taught, a couple of years ago, on that. Hey, Mr. Bergeron, I'd love to. Take that off your hands and stuff like that. I said, well, here, can you do it in the next couple hours, right? So that's that.
That's a good thing.
Now, a couple things didn't go. So the city of Dearborn, I'm not sure about every city, but the city of Dearborn will let you do 5. I found this out. Lets you do 5 big furniture pieces every freaking week.
Wow.
So I put a bunch of older stuff I had upstairs and stuff, and that went out. So purging like crazy. That's 1. Now 2, I painted the living room.
Black? What color is it?
Come on, Don. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what the color is, don't you? You guys know what it is.
Bright sunshine yellow.
No. I guarantee, Cole Feisick, Coach Nuttall, Tom Thackeray, they know what color is the in color right now.
Do they?
I'm looking to see. I don't see them saying much, but yeah. So it's gray, folks. We did a light gray with a white trim. And I'll tell you something else that I
Okay,
did
that looks
different.
good.
It looks real good. It looks the way we did a trim today.
White
so,
trim,
something else I did. I had trim in a couple of spots on the wall. So we painted the ceiling and the wall same color, and it turned out sharp. It's light enough where it made your eye didn't get drawn to the trim and make the room feel small. So, folks, be out there purging stuff you don't want. Take a project, start painting something. Coat a paint on something right now would be awesome.
Call Scott.
Yeah, I'm a terrible painter. All right, I am not a good painter, so you don't want to call me.
Is it all over the floor? And
No.
furniture
It looks
stuff?
all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's
all right.
okay. But
So you
it's
done good.
not. Yeah. The next time it'll be getting it'll be painting out to somebody else. So I'll be supporting a local business by having somebody else paint the next thing.
Yeah.
So we took our own advice. We're doing that stuff like we told you to do. Purge. There are other things going on. Find some projects to do. It's warm outside, so make sure you go out and do some yard work
Gardening,
stuff,
yep.
sprucing some stuff up.
Yep.
Okay, especially if you're thinking about selling. Outside curb appeal's a big thing, so that's that.
Yeah. With it warming up and the sun coming out, grass is going to grow. It's going to look beautiful. Your house is going to look beautiful.
Yeah, not bad. So Don, let me ask you, what's the city spotlight today? Wait, because I told some people that it's going to be right up their alley. It's going to be right up their alley. So what is it?
It is Lincoln Park.
The Lincoln Park.
The Lincoln Park.
Downriver,
You
you're
know
talking.
that pretty well.
I
that
know
city.
Downriver now, boy. I'm telling you what. So, as always, we're going to tell you the actives, which means the houses that are on the market. We're going to tell you the pendings, which means houses that are under contract. Kind of tells you where things are at. We're going to tell you the solds for the last 30 days. And then we're going to tell you the average sale price. So we're giving you a bunch of information about LP. All right? So tell me, what do you got for actives and pendings?
Currently on the market, 54 homes.
Yep.
Currently pending, meaning they've accepted contracts, 56.
So people are telling me, like, I don't see anything on the market. So 50, 110 homes, that's a lot.
Yeah.
In that area, that's
Yeah.
not bad.
Yes.
That's not
yes.
too bad.
Things are still happening.
Yeah, they are. So the number that makes that even more encouraging, Don, is this. Pending solds in the last 30 days, which would mean where the market was, okay, was 38. So both those numbers are higher.
Yeah. And especially the last few weeks has been this.
Yeah, it's a lockdown. Yeah.
it's
So
lockdown,
there's
so-
lots of stuff out there,
It's
folks. So don't
happening.
worry about that.
Things are
Now,
happening.
average sale price for 1,000 square feet in the LP is $95,000. Okay.
Very affordable.
Again, that's the average.
Very
Okay?
affordable housing.
You're gonna find some that are above, some that are below. We wanted to give you the average. So some encouraging things from Lincoln Park.
Yeah, very affordable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good place to start off if you're low. It's a good place to start off for someone young.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice starter home for folks. Absolutely. Folks, if you have any questions, post them right in the comments too. So if you have any questions at all.
Okay.
So what do you got?
So next is what do title? We're going to talk about title work, title insurance policies, and so it's kind of a vague area. It's one of those things that are part of the process and in closing, and you don't really. What is it? What do they do? Well, what's the insurance? Title insurance. The title company does a search with the county, make sure there's no liens on the property when you purchase the home, and if they make a mistake, they will give you an insurance policy. Now, there's two types of insurance policy. There's an owner's policy, where the seller pays for it and gives it to the purchaser. The purchaser purchases one if they're getting a mortgage for the lender, so they're both covered. So the lender's covered for the mortgage amount, and the purchaser's covered for the purchase amount. So it keeps you, just in case the title company made a mistake or something was overlooked, you are going to get insurance. You'll get money back that will cover it. It's an insurance policy.
Okay.
You know? It's
So-
nice to have it if you don't need it. It's one of those things.
So I want to take that a little further as far as let me give you some things that are possible. Okay, like I'll give you an example. So I had a client that bought out in Rochester Hills. Okay, the Veterans Administration, the VA, had a lien still on there from like a previous two sellers previous. So I talked to the folks at Michigan Title, and I actually talked to the VA, which is a hard group to get through, and got them to release the lien because it was, like I said, it was from like two purchases before.
Right.
So somebody at some point had dropped the ball.
So they had a VA loan on it,
Yep.
and they just didn't clear it off the chain of title.
Right. So what title insurance is doing is making sure there's nothing weird on coming with your property. There's no hidden expenses, right?
So that seller that owned the property at the time could have been an issue there, and
Yep.
they would have gotten an insurance policy for it. the insurance
Absolutely.
policy. So it works. Perfect
Yeah.
example.
So think about this though. Think about some other things that title companies do. Okay. Title companies hold money for the final water bill
at the closing.
at closing. They do that. I just had one do it today. Michigan Title reached out to me today. They order payoffs on your mortgage and make sure that's paid off. Right.
It's a lien on property. They want to make sure it's covered. They
Yeah,
send,
yeah, yeah. So
they send the money out.
they do. I would say it this way: they do more than just show up at the table and go, "Hey, look, sign a bunch of these papers." Right?
Right.
There's a ton of stuff that title companies do. They kind of orchestrate everything that's going to be ready for closing. Right? They do the settlement sheets.
Right, and they represent the mortgage company for the closings for the most part because they have to sign all the mortgage documents and explain the mortgage documents to the purchaser.
Yeah, absolutely. So
So what's the cost of that, of title insurance? Typically it's about 1% of the price, the sales price. Just a rule of thumb.
So I always do it this way. I cheat. I always go to like Title1.inc or Michigan Title's webpage and I put in the sale price and you can find out what it is.
But that's just a rule of thumb type of thing.
Yeah.
And finally, if you refinance your home, you have to get updated title work. So you don't just refinance it; you have to pay it, but it'll be it would cost less to do it the second time.
Yeah, because here's a way you can save money on title insurance, right? If you bring your commitment from previous.
From when you first purchased it.
Right. I've seen people do that before. It's not a ton, a couple $100 though.
Well, it depends on when you refinance. If you refinance in the first year, you're going to get a lot back.
Yeah.
Or a big discount on it, let's say.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, folks, here's where we kind of want to circle back to a topic that's real estate related, but not. Okay, we want to talk about and put a humongous thank you out to
First responders.
well, to everybody.
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to ask you to do. In the comments, I want you to put some big hearts in the comments for if you know somebody that's any of these things, right? So let's say if you know a first responder, put hearts in the comments. Okay, that's one group. Who else you got, Don? What other groups you got?
Grocery workers, I do the grocery shopping for my house. I'm going out to these stores and these grocery. I thank them.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't there, we would be in trouble. If they're not stocking the shelves, bringing up, filling things up, I'm very grateful for them. They really appreciate when you thank them.
Yeah. Well, you know
awesome.
me, buddy. You know that TP is a very important thing. So no grocery store workers, no TP. Let's go there. What about truck drivers?
Absolutely. If if you happen to be out on the road for those short periods of time, you see a lot of truckers out there, and they're still working, and they have to. I couldn't imagine being a truck driver now with either restaurants closed. Where do you go to the restroom? Where do you get some food? They're really out on the front lines that are really need our thoughts.
Well, yeah. Okay. So think about people that are still preparing food for you. Restaurants are still preparing food.
Yes.
Fast food places are still preparing food.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Showing up every day. So that's another group. Again, if you know any of these people, put hearts in the comments for us.
And thank them.
Yeah,
Thank them when you're out.
It's maybe that's one of the positive things from this thing is people are going to be more thankful. Like I thank my grocery guy.
Absolutely.
I thank the friggin' Burger King people and the Wendy's people when I go get that Wendy's. You know what I mean? Because I go get that all the time. So who else? Who else can we thank?
Drugstores, or employees at drugstores.
Yeah.
They have to stay open. Another one is food delivery people. I go get carry out. I won't pay for food delivery because I usually go somewhere close, and I like to just go in there. I know some of these people from frequent these restaurants. They know me, so it's nice to say hi to them, see how they're doing. But when I go in, I see a lot of food delivery people. What is it? Grubhub.
DoorDash.
DoorDash. It's incredible that and they're out there out on the road and going to these restaurants, picking up your food and delivering it. They deserve our respect and thankfulness too.
Absolutely. So I want to share a story with you, because I usually have pretty good ideas, and sometimes they go crazy. They don't work out, right? So Monday, I wanted to be thankful, okay? And I wanted to be thankful to my family, to my immediate family, my mom, my sister, my aunt, and my former mother-in-law. So I've never made cookies in my whole life, Don. All right. So Sunday night, I made chocolate chip cookies.
From scratch?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was awesome. They weren't bad, right? I tried a couple, just a couple.
Where's that? Where,
Hey, 6 feet. I can't touch you with those cookies. What's the matter with
I
you?
know, you could put them on the
Yeah,
table.
you're
and I
not
could
getting
grab
it. So
'em.
I'll tell you what happened to them. So I made 4 plates of cookies. All right, I put them all on paper plates, and I put tinfoil on. I took little white note cards, and I put a little note, something like, "These are a sweet treat for you because you really need," or some kind of weird little rhymey thing, right? So about 7 o'clock in the morning, I put a Facebook video on this too. I put them on everybody's porch, on my aunt and uncle, my mom, my sister, and my former mother-in-law, and so I go back to my mom's house about noon to bring her lunch. The plate is flipped over. The foil is in the grass. There's like cookie all across her porch. So Scott
got
Burrs.
'em?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. So the thing that maybe in this thick head of mine, it's only for real estate. It's not for delivering goodies because squirrels got to them.
Oh boy, thank goodness you don't work for Grubhub.
Yeah,
or
that's
something
right.
Like that, huh?
I could not be a
Oh,
Grubhub
my
person.
gosh.
That would not be happening. That would not be happening at all. So, all right. Anything else for the good of the order, sir?
Nope, I think I'm good. I think this is another good week, and hopefully we've given you some good information. And we're always available. And if you do have to buy or sell, people are still making it happen. We could still make it happen if it's really the time you need to do it. If it's not, we'll be ready when it is.
So I look at it like this: the reason that we do this show, Don, right, and we're doing it 6 feet apart
Because we have fun.
in the backyard here.
We have fun.
Right, and plus, being in the business, we know all the little ins and outs and all the little nuances, and we just want to share them with you. That's basically what we're doing, right?
And we're having fun.
Yeah.
I'm having fun out there. You?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wore a tie, it'd be a shirt
Next
tie.
week. Next week.
You guys hold them to it. I want you to tune in next week and make sure he has a tie on.
Tie and shirt. And
All right?
I might have
I will not
shorts
have a
on.
tie on my head. That was only April Fool's. All right? All right. I'm Scott,
And I'm Don.
and we're talking real estate. Have a good night, guys.